the troops,
everybody,
the officers, military, first responders, everybody in the medical staff, like everyone like that. I have a lot of praise for those types of people because it takes those types of people to keep our country safe. And
I can honestly say, as a former correctional officer, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And I know everyone else does.
On that topic, is there a lot of bad things that I would like to see changed as far as corruption and all of that? Yes, I would. But I would never recommend anyone harming a first responder or an officer or anything like that, because what happened at the Capitol when they stormed it, I support peaceful protesting. It's your right as an American. If you want to sit with a sign and hold it up and, say USA all day, yes, I support that, but I do not support people that will create any chaos or any harm or rioting or burning anything down or harming anyone. Mm-hmm. That I do not support. I support peaceful protesting. And what started off at the Capitol was a peaceful protest. But what it turned into was it doesn't make you any better than what has happened. What was that, like 4 or 5 months ago?
Yeah, during the summertime with Antifa and BLM and burning down.
Was there Antifa there?
There's rumors to say there was.
At the Trump supporting rally? Yeah, there probably was. Is that confirmed? Kind of, but who knows? But could that have been handled differently? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Now, should we have stormed the Capitol? I doubt that. But at the same time, I get that people are fed up with a whole bunch of stuff, but there's other ways to go about that. And,
at the end of the day, you're not, I will never call them domestic terrorists because, for one thing, they're not. And I forgot, I think it was Mitch McConnell, that fucker, had said, Mitch McConnell's the guy also who signed off on not giving all $2,000 stimulus checks for all those who are unemployed. Just letting you know that I'm not just saying this because of something else. I really don't like that guy. He is a bandwagoner along with Mike Pence and all the other Republicans that rode with Trump. And like I've said before, I am not a full-blown Trump supporter, but I do believe that if you're going to ride with somebody, you ride with them till the end.
Yeah.
These guys...
It's about loyalty.
Exactly. These guys at the last minute turn their backs on everybody that, was at that Capitol situation, everybody that's been supporting them, the Republican Party, all that, and completely turn their backs on them at the last minute because they were scared.
Yeah.
But anywho, he called those people domestic terrorists. I don't believe they were, because terrorism is a violent act honed on harming a multitude of people and to killing a multitude of people to prove a religion, a point, or a situation. Basically to strike a cause in the most violent way. They weren't doing that. I would just say that they were vandalizing a statue of America.
Yeah, and I don't agree with that. And
that's not something you do. Even if you're just breaking a window, no, you don't do that.
No,
because what they don't realize is once you set foot on those grounds, they can open fire.
They can.
They could have seriously,
and they did.
They did, and it ended up killing a innocent woman who served our country for 14 years.
Was she unarmed?
Yeah, she was unarmed.
Yeah.
Was just protesting.
Yeah. Now,
but
you have other people bashing windows and like the situation,
cussing,
the stakes were
spitting,
high. Yeah.
Spitting at, Washington police officers' face.
If police officers feel threatened, they will take action.
They will take action.
And they have every right to take action.
Do.
People have to understand that no matter what color, race, or religion you are, if you are threatening an officer, they can take action. They have every right. They are there to protect themselves.
They have families to go home to.
Absolutely.
As well. Now, those officers that are corrupted, that's a different story.
No, absolutely.
And they will get what's coming to them in the legal matter that's appointed. what I'm trying to say is don't take matters into your own hands like these people did. As you can see now.
Well, you can, but not that way.
Okay, yeah. Don't take matters into your own hands in a violent way. And I don't care what you say. Smashing, burning, loitering, stealing, anything
is wrong.
Is a violent action. Because what ends up happening is once you hit that glass and you break it, a chemical compound gets released in the human mind where violent actions will take place and you won't know you're doing them.
Yeah, it's
and so that's what happened during these BLM movements and the Antifa movements is that one idiot who's throwing Molotov cocktails or banging on police cars or vandalizing government property or businesses that have nothing to do with anything. It adds on to
attitudes and actions are contagious.
So think about what could have happened if, they decided, hey, we're going to burn this bitch down.
Now
that would have started, and I do see why cops didn't open fire. You have two scenarios. You have the scenario where they just stand back and just hope for the best, or you open fire, take violent actions, and this is something I wish Bernie Sanders would get through his thick skull. You take violent actions on that mass majority of people, you just started a revolution.
Yeah.
You have to think ahead of the game.
Yeah.
If you start... Sorry, that's my mother.
Oh, you're good.
If you do that, you just start a revolution. You just split up more people in America than what was needed. So
crazy.
The way it was handled could have been faster paced. I will say that. The National Guard took way too long to get there.
Mm-hmm.
For one thing, for everything that we've been through this past year, you think they would have higher guards out there. They just had linked fencing that wasn't even connected.
They weren't connected.
Maybe 2 to 3 officers to each fence, and you have over 50,000 people out there.
I heard it was over 1 million.
Like a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're outnumbered. I don't care how many bullets you have in the clip. You're going to run out, and when you do, that's it.
Yeah.
And, that mace and stuff, they were running through it.
Yeah.
And yes, they were getting tear gas. There were people saying, oh, no one was doing that. And, but whenever we were doing Black Lives Matter, no, they were throwing tear gas.
2 wrongs don't make a right either, man.
No. So at the end of the day, guys, I don't support what they did. It could have gone better. In the end, you have to accept that the government is in charge. That's in our Constitution, and whatever happened, and we just got to ride it out.
Yeah, I think people are fed up though with they're in charge, but we the people
we have more say so than the government.
But the way that things are going, if people feel like we got gypped out of an election. And so, that's our right as Americans is we have the freedom to vote. And if that freedom of vote is tampered with, it's like that's our right and that's taken away from us.
Right.
So there's a lot of people, obviously, that are angry and upset about that. So a lot of those people were at the Capitol when it happened. Right. And so I understand that part of people being upset about certain things like that. But when it comes to violence and when it comes to hurting others and vandalizing and just as a veteran and as I just don't support that. You have to do a peaceful protest, and that's how you get your point across. You cannot act like the other people did as far as Antifa and stuff like that. You can't give into that. You cannot do that. We're better than that.
This isn't communist Russia. You don't have to. We live in such an amazing. Now, some people say the democracy is broken. I'm not saying it's not. It is corrupted. There's proof of that. You can see it. It is very corrupted. Whenever you have someone making money off high-risk countries that is in political power.
If we vote for term limits, especially people that have been in office for 20, 30 plus years, get them out. We need to put in strict rules as far as implementing term limits and stuff like that. We've got to do that job. We got to vote for that.
I've also kind of looked into it. I do believe that the age limit for certain jobs and that is overbearing, because you may have, like, I think the age limit for a senator is like, what, 30, 40 years old? Yeah, that person's been around 30, 40 years, but what has he done behind all that?
Yeah.
Could have been part of the KKK, could have been part of that. You have a newer generation that knows, don't do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's beyond bad. Knows the newer views, knows how to react to certain things in better ways. Get newer blood in there.
Yeah.
All these old dogs that think they're doing right just want it for that extra 4 years of pay. That's it. They didn't make it to put their names in the history book, so they might as well just make it to get some money out of it.
It's crazy to see some senators in office right now that, their salary is $150,000 a year, but yet they're living in $5 million homes. Mm-hmm. How is that? Obviously, there's corruption.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
they're living the life of luxury. They're coming up in Rolls Royce and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I get the people are mad about all different aspects across the board,
but
there is ways to go about it. As far as hurting the cops and officers and people on the front lines, that's not the right way to go about it. There's other ways.
Those people are there to protect you. Whether you believe it or not, they are. Mm-hmm. They take an oath they have to abide by. Now, I'm not saying some of them do or some of them don't. But out of respect for that oath that they take and the taxes you already pay for, respect them.
That's pretty well said right there.
Yeah, don't be a dick and say, well, I saw this one cop in Michigan, did this, so you're going to do it too, but you're in Texas. What sense does that make? They're totally two different people. That goes for everything. So, at the end of the day, we're all people. We're all in this together. We're all united because we live in a country that we stay united. If my neighbor down the street who is black needs my help, I'm going to go over there and help him because he's my neighbor and I appreciate him. Mm-hmm. And I know he's going to help me if I need his help.
There you go.
It goes back to don't see color. Don't see race. Don't see ethnics. Don't see religion. We're all people under one big house. We have to band together to make change. If we don't band together and make change, that's how you get shit that gets brought up to where we separate and we have a revolutionary war, brother against brother, people getting hurt, corrupt government, stuff like that. You guys, at the end of the day, we need to go back to where we're all one person fighting for the same thing. And that's what America's all about, my man. Freedom and everything else.
That's right.
Anyways, off that soapbox, it's a big soapbox to get on. But
speaking of soapbox, do you want to talk about the Jeffree Star and Kanye West?
Speaking of splitting. So
they're like, are they really going to talk about that?
They're going to talk about that?
I mean,
they're drinking
whiskey.
This week got crazy.
This week is
crazy.
So
the man that everyone was supposed to vote for this year is going through a divorce because apparently he was with Jeffree Star, which Jeffree Star is
he like a makeup artist or something? Yeah, I have no idea who this person is.
The dude, okay, I don't know if he's gay or if he's a transsexual, I don't know. But the dude is making bank.
Yeah.
Like, he's making a lot of money. Like, I'm thinking about going to makeup because he's making a lot of money. I don't know if I'd be good at it. It'd be like, one of my colors, mud, dog food, Jim Beam.
So what was the allegations? Basically, like Kanye had an affair with Jeffree
that's
Star,
what they're saying,
and like obviously, like Kanye's gonna get divorced.
There's some shit like that, but apparently it's not.
But yeah,
true.
There's an article that's like Jeffree Star saying this whole thing is really funny.